Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to this new video where I am going to touch on and dive truly granular, look up that word on Google, a little bit more granular than usual because I've been asked quite a bit recently on how to start a blog. So I am going to touch on everything that I have done and everything I've implemented to be successful in starting, launching, and continuing creating this blog. I remember when I first typed in how to start a blog on Google, there was only about 300 million search results. Yes, truly that many. There were so many, and there were so many different hosting sites, domain, email, ad. There were just so many different things to touch on. In this video, I'm going to touch on a few of the ones that are really necessary to start in the blog, and there will be some add-ons. So please bear with me. It's not quite a 3 easy step process you can do in 20 minutes. It does take a little bit, but bear with me. You can do it in one day, in one sitting. You just need a little bit of time. And I promise you, going through this tutorial, you will be able to start your blog and start writing on it today. Number 1, firstly, you have to buy a domain. Buying a .com, .org, .net, buying an actual website. They call it domain. Buying a domain. Now, there are so many ways to buy it. Me, on my first website, I bought it through Google Domains. The second one I bought through Bluehost, which is a hosting service. Anyhow, there are so many different ways. There are GoDaddy, Bluehost, Google Domains. There are so many different ones. I went through Bluehost for the blog I currently use and the first blog I started. So there's going to be a link down below that will get you the ability to buy a domain through Bluehost, which I'd recommend doing. All right, so you have bought the domain, the .com. You are now officially a website owner. Whoop, whoop. Congratulations. Number 2 is you need hosting for this domain. It doesn't just automatically work. Contrary to popular belief, you do need to have a service or a person service this website and host it. I recommend using a shared server in the beginning stages because it is the less expensive. And Bluehost has a special, which you will see a link down here somewhere, that if you use Bluehost, which is what I used for my first blog, which is totally fine for someone who has very little page views. Now, if we're talking about a blog that has 100,000 page views, it's a whole different story. You don't use a shared server. You use dedicated servers. However, in the beginning, as I digress, in the beginning, Bluehost and similar shared servers are going to be totally fine. So click on the link below, and you will see the link to buy that hosting. So if you click on the link, the Bluehost link, you'll see this landing page. Super simple, $4 a month, obviously. They actually give you a domain now. I had to pay for mine, I believe, when I did it, but they include your domain, which is super sweet. I don't know what a site builder is, but I never used that. But here's the cool thing, the WordPress install, which is super good. If you end up using WordPress.org, which I do encourage, remember, .org, not .com. I definitely do encourage using that just because talk to any blogger. There's very few legitimate options, and WordPress.org is definitely the best option. Super simple. You hit get started now. You then have a couple different options. Now, I believe I use this one, which doesn't really mean much right now to you. If you're just starting, I'd recommend doing this. One website is totally fine. 50 gigabytes should be plenty for the interim while you're just starting. One domain, and they give you email accounts. I can't speak that those are anything good. But anyhow, so I'd recommend using the basic for $4 a month. And then you can either register the domain name you already have, or you can create your own, obviously. So if we go to, let's see if it'll let me register mine. Is Max My Money going to work? And nope, cannot be registered up. I already have it, so you can't take my domain. Ha! Anyhow, so you go through this whole process, and then eventually you will get kicked onto a login page, which has a ton of information, so don't feel overwhelmed because it is a lot of information. So we go to that. I'll type in my password. I believe it's this one. it's this one. Bear with me. Again, not a technology person. Bear with me. And are we in? We're not in. Bloody hell. Anyhow, we can go from this way. See, everything's integrated. So, Bluehost in my WordPress dashboard here. We go to the dashboard. On my dashboard here, you will see Bluehost. So super, super awesome. You can go straight here, and you can access all your Bluehost. But anyway, it doesn't really matter at this point. Just know that everything is connected and makes it super, super simple. So that is the Bluehost bit. So you have your fancyschmancy.com. You have your hosting service, so now you can have a real website, a real blog. Now, what platform are you going to use to write on or create content with? Now, I gotta tell you a really quick aside. When I first started a blog, I went to WordPress, and I typed in WordPress, start a blog. I went to the website, anyway, bought what I bought, that was it. The fact of the matter is, I used WordPress.com. Now, WordPress.com compared to WordPress.org, very, very different things. WordPress.com is owned by the people who created WordPress, and this is more so for the casual wanting to connect with a very small audience and not wanting monetization. Now, if you have any ambitions whatsoever to monetize your blog, which pretty much means make money from the internet, make money from blogging, do not use WordPress.com. .com does not allow monetization, period. So .com, forget about it. Now you want WordPress.org. I'll do it one more time. Forget the WordPress.com, don't do that. You cannot monetize your blog. WordPress.org, you will be able to monetize and earn money off your blog in a variety of different ways. Way too much for this video, but go to some other videos I have and you'll be able to see how you can monetize the blog more effectively. Remember, WordPress.org, not .com, .org. Yes. All right, so now you have the .com, you have your domain, you have your hosting, you figured out WordPress is going to be your best way going forward. And I promise you, WordPress.org is not for, it is for everybody, that's what I'm saying. It's for pretty much anybody. There are websites and bloggers who have 100,000 to 1 million page views per month who use WordPress.org. It's very, very comprehensive. It will be able to suffice every single need you have. There are so many plugins, which you don't know what those are yet, but plugins just help your life in so many different ways. You don't have to create things. There's lots of already pre-made plugins that are very, very beneficial for your blog. Anyhow, as I digress, you have those you have those things now, and now we're going to dive in on. I want to show two more things as well. One is going to be on the difference between .com and .org WordPress. Now, this is WordPress.com. It's what you do not want. You do not want the .com. It sounds really cute, but the fact of the matter is, you're not able to monetize .com accounts. So there's no advertising revenue. There's no way to monetize these accounts because it's not what they were meant for. It's almost as if you are renting a space, and you're renting a space from WordPress.com. You're renting the space that you are living in, that you're blogging in. And the fact of the matter is, when you rent a place, you can't construct anything, you can't make additions, so that's why we say good riddance to that. The fact of the matter is, WordPress.org is what we want because you, in a sense, own the place, and you can make renovations, you can do pretty much whatever the heck you want within reason on .orgs. So WordPress.org, definitely keep that in mind. And then secondly, I wanted to show the theme. So if you're in the dashboard, the WordPress dashboard, it's really simple. You just go to Appearance, Themes, and you will, if you go to WordPress.org themes, you will see all sorts of different ones, and you can search them. There's all sorts of, depending upon if it's a blog, if it's something that looks different, there's just a billion different ones. You can search, you can upload them if you downloaded from elsewhere, which I'd be leery doing. Make sure you know the person you bought this thing from. There's about 1 billion people who want to sell you their WordPress theme. Do some research and figure out if they are a good WordPress.org theme creator. And the biggest encouragement for me there is to have someone who's going to be able to support you on when plugins don't work, when things go wonky. You want a live person, whether it be via email or via chat, to be able to help you. I had a couple problems on mine in the beginning, just some spacing issues, and where it just looked odd, and I received some pretty quick help. So you definitely want to figure out your WordPress theme is from someone or a company that is going to administer help and give you troubleshooting when you need it. Themes. It's the thing when you read a story and there's a theme to the story. No, totally a lie. A theme is something that is like a template of your blog. It shows this colors and this pattern. It shows just it's a theme. It's a template of how your blog looks. And there are lots of free ones, and there are ones you can buy. Or you can create a total one on your own. There's 3 different options: free one, paid one, or create everything from scratch, which is the most expensive one. I don't recommend that in the beginning. A free one usually does work totally fine, but not always the best support. So if something goes wonky and something is not showing at all, a lot of times these free templates or free themes don't have any support, so you could be out of luck. Secondly, though, is what I did for my first one is I bought a premium WordPress theme. So I bought it from a third-party service. I believe it cost about $45 US, so not expensive at all, and there was some support, so I was able to ask questions on when I didn't understand how to work something, or how to figure out just some spacing, different things that were really specific to that exact theme. So anyhow, so you got to pick a theme. Free ones work totally fine. Obviously the least expensive option, but again, sometimes have no support. The second one being a premium or paid theme can have some support, and that's what I use. Thirdly is hiring a web developer or someone to create it, or if you have that skill set, you can create your own. You don't need to have either of these themes. You can create your own. That will be the most expensive though, and I don't recommend that for someone who's not techie and who's just starting blogging. All right, so to wrap up, there are 4 elements to creating the blog, to starting it live, you're on. First is buying the domain. Second is hosting. You can go to Bluehost, my link in the description below, and you can buy the domain and the hosting from Bluehost. Thirdly is to differentiate between WordPress.com and .org. You want WordPress.org, not .com. Can't stress that enough. If you want to make money on the internet, want to make money on your blog, if you want to have any privileges and having complete ownership, then you want WordPress.org. And lastly is the theme. Free, paid, or create your own, whatever your choice is. And the cool thing about using Bluehost, in the link below, is you will be able to install WordPress with 1 click. It might be more than 1 click, that's what they claim. It says 1 click install. That's what I did on my first blog. I would encourage you to do the same thing because it makes it super streamlined, super easy, and I've had a really good experience with Bluehost. So there's bad experiences, there's good experiences. You type in Bluehost experiences, you're gonna see either end, and to the bad experiences, maybe they just run a different server than me. I don't know. You're not going to have 100% server uptime anywhere you go. So long story short, use the Bluehost link in the description below. It will get you a really, really good deal. I don't know what the deal is right now, but I believe it's $2.95 per month to host a blog, $3 a month. It's crazy, crazy cheap. So anyway, so that's what I've been using on this blog, on the first blog I did, and it's been helpful, been useful. It all streamlines between WordPress.org and the hosting and the domain. Buy all 3 through Bluehost. It's going to be super, super beneficial to streamline everything. What questions do you guys have? I know that was a lot of information about the hosting and the domain. Goodness, I remember my first week blogging, I was so overwhelmed by everything. So please be patient with yourself. Don't expect to know everything about the internet and everything about blogging in 1 or 2 weeks. It takes a while. It's taken me months and months and months to collect all this data and understand it and be able to apply it. So be patient with yourself. Leave a comment below, ask questions, create some banter. What other things have you done? Experienced bloggers, you might be watching this. What have you done that would made it easier, this process? I've attempted to make it as simple as possible, but maybe there's something easier. What have you guys done? What other questions, what other necessary elements are there? There might be some necessary elements I left out. Comment below, subscribe, like, share with people who are wanting to start a blog, And I promise you guys, blogging has opened my mind to different possibilities on income, traveling, all sorts of different things. So I encourage you guys to start your own, find your niche, and have fun in the process, because this truly is a fun experience. Writing about your perspective, your story. People love hearing narratives. We love stories. So write about your story and you will find someone, and usually a community, that's going to really, really, really connect with you. Keep writing, keep blogging. You guys just started. Keep it going. Have a marvelous rest of your day.